Hi all, welcome to video 24 of LangChain of GenAI using LangChain and Databricks playlist. In this video, we are going to understand about structured output in LangChain using JSON schema. In last video, we have learned the structured output in LangChain using Pydantic. We have understood what all use cases we can cover using Pydantic, what all options available in Pydantic, right? When we are looking to use that from production project perspective. Now, in this video, I'll quickly explain you how we can get structured output in LangChain using JSON schema, right? So there is one sample JSON that I have defined, right? I'll just explain you how you can define the JSON, right? You can get this JSON from any AI assistant, right? You just specify your requirements, right? What format you want, and you will get this JSON, right? So the name of my JSON is students JSON schema. Description is I've just given sample student JSON schema. The type is object, JSON object. Properties, in properties I'll be having all the fields that I want to specify. For example, first name, type is string, description is there. Middle name, type is string, description is also there. Age, type is integer, description is given. And I have specified two columns, first name and age as required, right? Fine. So we don't need to this I don't need to execute, right? Because this I'm not going to use, right? What I have done for our AC review use case that we have seen in last video, I have created a schema, right? So title I have given AC review summary, type is object. In properties, I have first item as topic discussed, it is array, right? And inside array, all the items would be string, right? I have specified the description. The next essay review summary, it should be string and the description, right? This description will be useful, will be used as a prompt, right? Essay review sentiment, type is string. I have specified enum. If you can see, using JSON schema, we can specify enum also, right? Description I have given pros, cons, and reviewer name, right? Description again the same. Name of the reviewer if mentioned, if not mentioned, choose the default value, right? And required values are topics discussed, AC review sentiment, and AC summary, right? So this is the schema, this is the JSON schema I have defined. Okay, now the installations I have just ran. Okay, the next part is almost similar. We have imported the model, we have defined the chat model, we have review, same thing what we have done in last video. Structured review summary, I'm just creating a structured model, right? Chat model to use, start with structured output, I'm passing AC review summary JSON, right? Is it the same? AC review summary JSON. See, AC review summary JSON, this name, right? Fine. And I'm just invoking it for the review to process. Okay. If I run this, let me just run it in front of you, and it will give us the required output, right? It might take little time because it has to send this review to LLM, get it structured in the JSON format that I have defined. Okay, there will be no validations happening. What we were doing in Pydantic in JSON, there will be no validation. So these advantages, disadvantages, we will see, as and we progress in this video. But the way of invoking, right? The process remains the same. Here you just define the JSON schema, and in Pydantic we were defining the class, right? So if you can see topics discussed, right, whatever description we have given has acted as a prompt, right? And it has given us all the needed output, right, as a dictionary. Okay, we can call it as a JSON also, that is fine, right? Now, quickly, let's understand. We are not going to spend much time on this JSON schema because from all these, the one Pydantic is something which we use for a lot of use cases, right? So Pydantic we have spent enough time, right? JSON we just are going to get an understanding, its advantages, disadvantages, when to use and when not to use, right? Now JSON. the biggest strength of JSON is very flexible. We can define nested objects, arrays. We have already we have already defined array in our above JSON. Enums we have defined optional fields, constraint, right? Now this is language independent. It works across almost multiple languages, JavaScript, APIs, databases, config files, right? So it is good for multi-system integration, right? And yes, we can make Pydantic also useful for multi-system integrations. The Pydantic output also we can convert to JSON. We have already seen that, right? And disadvantages, of course, no runtime validation, right? As like Pydantic, and no automatic type coercion, right? It used to happen in Pydantic, it is not happening in JSON schema, right? So, what all use cases we can use JSON schema? When schema is dynamic, when schema is generated at runtime, right? When we want to integrate with external system, when we want language agnostic solution, in that case we can use JSON schema. When we are using tool or functional calling, right? In case this tool calling and function calling, basically we will learn in our upcoming YouTube playlist, which is on agentic AI. There this JSON schema is used heavily, right? And we don't need wherever we don't need strict Python validation, there we use the JSON schema, right? And we avoid JSON when we want strong validation. Of course, in this case we will use Pydantic. When we need clean Python code, we will use Pydantic. When we are looking for type safety, again Pydantic. And when we are building a complex backend logic, right, we will avoid the JSON schema, right? So this was the short understanding of how get structured output in LangChain using JSON schema, right? I have quickly explained to you how you can define the JSON also, and how can you can use this JSON, invoke that using the LLM model, right? And this is the model using which I am practicing. You also can practice, right? For learning purpose, this is sufficient. You don't need to spend any money on this one, right? Fine. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.